Hello everyone, my name is Bruce Rain from Braggers Creations and thank you very much for joining me. This is now my second stream in 2 weeks. You see, I had a big gap. And I thought, no, I can't have any more gaps. So, got to do a bit of live streaming. Got to do my thing, get out there. Make sure that YouTube doesn't forget me, because YouTube does sometimes forget me. Quick hello to folks. I'm going to say hello there to Jay from the House of Moth. I'm going to say hello to Retro Techie. Tanithus, that as well. Hello, Dave is here. Josh is here. Thomas is here. Ron is here. Hello, Ron. I had spent quite a bit of time with Ron yesterday, and he absolutely amazed me with his knowledge of Australia. Sad Mac is here. Apples Anonymous is here. Drake is here. Okay, so there we go. And I think I've said hello to everyone that is appearing in the chat at the moment. If I missed anyone, I apologize. So when I was streaming today, I had no idea what I was going to do. Ultimately, I am in a state of pure chaos out here at the moment in terms of incomplete stuff, jobs waiting to be done, videos waiting to be done. It's just an absolute mess, and I don't have a whole lot of time to spare today, so I'm just going to do whatever I can as quickly as possible. Hello to Gary. I have really, so just to fill people in on the history of this, I basically built this in a series of like 3-4 videos, which is the Mac Classic Reloaded. I just see a super chat. I see a super chat. Add to broadcast. Thank you very much, Ron. I do appreciate it. Wine delivery fund. Yes, it came eventually. So while I was live streaming yesterday, and for anyone who would like to catch up on that live stream, all you have to do is jump across to the House of Moth YouTube channel. He might even put in a link to that video if you like. Basically what happened is Jay started off doing a bit of, I don't even remember what you were doing. What were you doing? You're fixing something. Oh, that's right, zip drive. Zip drive, tried to fix zip drive, didn't fix zip drive. And then the next thing you know, we just spent the next like 2.5 hours just chatting to each other. So I had to head off and then they kept going for a little while. But so if anyone is interested in just seeing the joy that can be brought by sitting and watching a small group of people be stupid for a couple of hours, jump on and have a look. It is one of the finest. And I'll tell you what, I laughed quite a bit. But anyhow, during that live stream, I was waiting for some wine to be delivered. And 2 hours is what they said, delivered within 2 hours. And then after 2 hours, still not there. So needless to say, when the wine did arrive, I was pretty darn excited. I've got my Sprite here in a ridiculously small can. Does anyone know why they make these cans so small? Are they so like that people with really small hands can feel bigger or something? I don't get that. That is one mouthful. Stupid. That's all I had in the fridge, so I didn't buy it. Hello, Horst. I hope you are well. Oh, okay, you're halfway watching until I came on. Okay, fair enough. What else? I should also mention Steve Mac84, who doesn't appear to be here at the moment. Disgraceful. He, I think, just released another video as well, so you might want to go and check that out. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Same with Canadian Computer Collector. He has his weekly releases. I haven't had a chance to watch that yet either. I've got this whole Tinker Different thing going on. Quick mention, Tinker Different, tinkerDifferent.com. If you haven't been, go. You have to go. Yeah, well, we had a board meeting for that this morning, so doing that. I have that CPR for you. Looking at Element 14 to buy caps for those 2CIs. Excellent. So yes, I've got 3 Macintosh 2CI boards here at the moment that belong to Horst, and they are going to go into this, the ultrasonic cleaner. Get them all squeaky clean. So I'll be firing that up later today and getting them all clean for them. I'll do them in a bit of a production line. So, you could into the cleaner, and then from into the cleaner, into the washer, into the dryer, while the other one's in the cleaner, and like that sort of thing. So I've also just bought a few things, and I'm just going to go through those quickly on camera to see if they're the things that I want. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is in Jay's live stream that I was referring to as either that one or the one before. Jay was demonstrating this really cool little tool. Excuse me, just burped some Sprite there. Sprite burp. Shout out to Dan. I'm a bit all over the place at the moment, so if I start telling a story and then stop halfway through, feel free to ask me to finish it. So Jay bought this absolutely fantastic looking little pencil-y thingy. It's a little grinder pencil-y thingy, so it's about the size of a pencil or a fat pencil at that. And then it has a little tiny little, it's like a little mini Dremel, essentially. There's a little spinny thing at the end. And you can put different attachments in there, and you can use it for cutting and for grinding and for drilling and all that sort of stuff. Now, it looked like a really fantastic little tool. I thought, that's really good. I was very tempted to get it. But the thing is, I already own a Dremel. So for anyone who doesn't know what a Dremel is, this is what a Dremel is. It's a thing, and you switch it on, and the end spins. And you can get a whole bunch of different attachments for it. This one is a little cleany thingy. These are, really painful. These are really handy little things to have. But if you're trying to do really fine, precise work, like you're trying to cut traces or something on a computer, or if you're trying to reveal some copper when you've got a damaged pin or something like that, you know, with that weight hanging on the end, can you imagine trying to write with a pencil that heavy? I mean, it's a bit annoying. So what I did is, well, this Thomas, I have a cordless Dremel, very useful. See, that's virtually what Jay was using the other day, and the thing is tiny. And I just was looking at him doing this precise work, and I think that's awesome. So I do want to buy one. I will buy one. But in the meantime, what I thought I would do is I'd try this thing out. You've probably seen these before. And these are these Dremel extender-a-rooney thingies. They're in this sort of plastic packaging where you end up having to destroy it to open it, because that's just how everything goes these days. Lots and lots of plastic. Elemento, hello, thank you for joining. Oh, crap. What's going on here? I hate these sorts of packs, don't you? I mean, does anyone else just hate these sorts of packages? I mean, give me a box any day. Oh, look, that's falling apart. There we go. Once I get enough leverage in this, I reckon I'll be able to open up. Okay, so let's not lose any bits here. Nearly lost that bit. Nearly cut myself. Ow. There we go. There's some bits. And this is it. So the idea is, this is a little bit like the old cables that used to run to your speedometer on your car, where they were sort of linked up to the front wheel, and the faster the wheel spun, it spun a little wiry thing that went up it, and then it would make your speedo spin. Pack it. And the idea is you attach this to your Dremel, and then you only have a small thing to hold in your hand, and then you can get more precise action. Now, I don't know, I've never used one of these, and it might work, it might not, but, you know. I'm going to try. I have no idea how this works, so I think I have to take this off, and that off, maybe. That spins. What is it? Does it go through there? Does anyone know? Oh, hang on. Maybe, is that what that's for? Ah, that's what that's for. Do. Yep, okay, I see where we're going now. I see how it works. Everything's fine. People who've used these before are probably just going, Bruce, this is the most boring thing you've ever done. But I contend that I have done way more boring stuff. So, what we have now is we have a slightly smaller thing that we can hold in our hand. This I need to try and attach somewhere. It can sit in my lap for the moment. I don't know if that'll stop me from having children or something, but I'll just keep it there for now. Dremels obviously have lots of little bits and pieces for them. Having said that, there are often times when they don't seem to have the bits that I want. I sort of think, oh, I would like a Dremel one of these, please. And I look and it doesn't exist. So that's always disappointing. I have my smallest engravy tool here. This is for doing engravies. And this is the smallest one they make. And it's about the size of a small thing. What am I going to do? How am I going to fit? It'd be good if it stayed up there on a hook, but then I have to be left-handed. And I'm not left-handed, not even a little bit. Oh, actually, that's not true. I can use a mouse with my left hand, but that's about it. All right, so we've got our attachment here. It goes on there like that. I'm going to put my little engraving thing in here. Dremel might just have to sit on the table. I've got a button here that locks it, so I can screw the thing down. Excelente. That's as far in as it goes. So let's just see if we plonk this here, and we'll try not to make too much noise with this, but we'll just see what happens. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and do some precise work and see if it is a contender for the thing that Jay has, or whether I'm just going to abandon it and go with what Jay has. So I'm going to grab myself a MacBook Air logic board because they are the finest. Everyone likes the MacBook Air. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like MacBook Airs? Where does that go now? This is just another piece that I have the potential to lose now. Terrible. Let's change across to the microscope view. This is an Intel that I'm looking at here at the moment. This is an Intel MacBook Air. This probably was, this I guess is an i5 something or other. This is an 8203023A. Jay, you might be able to tell me which one that is. Okay, so let's just see how precision we can get here. That's probably really noisy, and for that I apologize. Oh, come on, get in focus, you. I've got a delay, so everything that I'm doing here is happening like slower. Come on. We can do this. There we go, we're getting there. Does anyone ever notice that some Dremels, like mine, just get faster and faster as they go? Okay. I think we're in focus now. All right. Mid 2011. Okay, there we go. Good year. All right, so let's have a look. I want it a bit faster. Won't be long, don't worry, I know it's an awful noise. Doesn't cut anywhere near as well as Jay's little tip did. I would definitely like to be able to get hold of that little tip that Jay had, because that one was just grinding away like you wouldn't believe. So don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. I would never forget that. Servicing them is not horrible. I do actually, I find the little Airs very easy to work on, but you do need to work on them because they fail. That is just the stupidest little can I've ever seen. All gone now, and I'm still thirsty. This particular tip that I've got here is really, really worn down. I can just see it now. Yeah, it's worn to the billy-o. Now I do actually have another one of these. It's a little bit newer, and I could certainly use that. So I felt like I could get a lot of precision with that. So if I was needing to use this to cut a trace, that would be good. Not a lot of fun for live streaming because it makes such a horrendous noise. But let's see if I can just cut a trace here. Trace cut. There we go. Continuity removed. Needs a sharp tip for proper comparison. You should get the job done just fine. Yeah. I mean, put it this way: having done some precise work holding the big old Dremel, holding this does make a massive difference to the ease of use. So that I'm quite pleased about. a couple of other attachments that I have for this. I have one that's floating around here somewhere, which is great. So like a cutting tool like this. So I'm just going to change views. Top view. Why is my microscope camera giving me a delay? It's just stupid. So this is this is a cutting wheel here, you know, and you can cut through metal with this. And it's got this little quick release system where you can just sort of spin that around. Don't make a liar out of me. You can just spin that around. It's a lot easier to do this when it's in the device. And you just have these little cutting wheels that you can just buy in a packet for when they disappear. And then you've got this little guy here. And then you can just slot these on. Slot them on. Ow. This is so much easier to do if it's in the actual Dremel. Slot this on. Turn it. And then it just locks it into place. And it's, you know, that's really handy for cutting as well. And again, I imagine that's going to be a lot easier to use with this little light bit here. And then of course you have the little cleany things like that. So that's all very handy in sandpaper. And of course, most importantly, I've also got a little mini drill bit for it. So, or drill, what do you call it, chuck. So I can actually get tiny, weeny little drill bits and connect those to it as well. So that's a really handy thing to have. So anyhow, I am feeling pretty good. If I can find the right sort of attachment for it, I think I'll be content with this rather than using the thing that Jay has. Bless you. My wife just sneezed. It's this one. This is more of a grinder. No, I don't mean the website. I bought a really cheap set of bits for these, you know, little Dremel bits, and they weren't a genuine Dremel brand. There were some just like rubbishy ones, and they are bad. So this is another engraving tool, a very, very thin one. So that's it. So anyhow, that's what I would be using if I was doing like a Mystic conversion or something like that. Right, I'm going to put this Dremel away. I'm pleased with the little snaky thing. I've got to figure out where I'm going to hang this to make it convenient to switch on and off. But I would basically call that one a win. So I'm happy with that. I hope that brings joy to others. There we go. We didn't come here to see you use a Dremel, mister. Stop it. Right. Oh, okay, that comes with that bit as well. Oh, that's good. So I've got two of them now. That's good because I lose things. Now, I always like to have two of everything. There we go. Right, got that. Got this. Sorry, folks, I'll just get this sorted out and then I'll move along and I'll try and do something interesting because I've got to try and do something interesting. Let's have a quick look at the chat. JJ Brubaker, hello. Actually got a notification this time. That is nice to see. There are a few people have jumped on here. Hello to, is that Mikhail? Hello. Okay, cool. All right, okay. Now, I'm going to put that away and we're just going to grab the next thing that I bought today out of my little box of things. I bought more super glue because I always need lots of super glue. Lots of super glue. So I'll go through super glue like you wouldn't believe in this place. It's cool. A couple of cute little tape measures like those. I like these ones. They're very convenient, those ones. But this is the other thing that I bought, and this is, I bought this because after watching one of Steve's streams, Steve bought this thing that looks like a white kettle that he uses for cleaning. It blows air for cleaning things. And I saw this little guy. It's a little worksite blower, and I thought, you know what? This could be good. I'm already well invested in the AEG ecosystem. So if I can get this set up, like that. Why is it shaped like that? Never mind. We'll concern ourselves with that later. There's a hosey thingy. This is an official unboxing we've got going on here. There we go. Look at that little fella, hey? Look cute. Look cute. Right. So, I might have to mute when I use this for the sake of everyone's ears. Okay, so that goes on there. I can even use this to do like really fine stuff. Oh, I like it. I'm just going to go get a battery. Don't have to go far. It's just there. I can actually see it, but it will take me off camera. You'll still be able to hear me though, so Marco, Marco, Marco. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's a bit disappointing. It's piss wee. Oh, that's not too bad. Not as good as what I was hoping though. Is there? Please tell me there's another speed. Ah ha ha ha. Okay, so yeah, okay, so that's good. That's definitely cleaning things. I might end up actually 3D printing a nozzle for this that might be better suited to some of the cleaning I'll do. I have an air compressor here, like a full-blown air compressor, and I can put a very fine nozzle on that, and that allows me to do cleaning of really, really punch a lot of air into little tight places. The downside to it is that when I want to use it, I've got to switch the compressor on, I've got to wait for the canister to fill up and get to pressure, and then I can start using it, and they're a bit of a pain. I was looking for something that would be a little bit more just, grab and go for just cleaning dust off the inside of computers and stuff like that. So I think this fits the bill. It does come with a squishy rubbery nozzly thing, but I think what I might do is just probably either replicate this on the 3D printer or print something that sits on the top of that has more of a fine point where I might be able to get a little bit more pressure into tight areas. But do I have an ESD vacuum? I do not. Yeah, I know, isn't that terrible? Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. That looks like that's going to do the job, so I'm happy with that. Now we can move on to more interesting things, like working on a Macintosh Classic. So I built this guy, Macintosh Classic, reloaded board. If anyone has not seen that, watch part 4. You can watch 1, 2, and 3 if you want, but that can get pretty boring. Just watch part 4. It's a summary of the whole thing, and the actual conclusion as well. Now, the problem that we had with this is there were some mistakes on it. So I had to go through and I had to do quite a little bit of bodge work. So cutting things and doing new little wires in places, wire. And the whole time I was doing that, I was letting Kai know that this thing wasn't quite up to scratch. No fault of Kai's. I mean, this is an incredibly complex thing to build, and you're always going to end up with some issues after building something like this from the ground up. And so we patched all these, and then he sent me the refined board, and I have just sat on it for ages because I've just had so much stuff going on. But yesterday, I started working on it, and I did most of the bird seed. I've got a little bit more bird seed to spread around here. That's it, and then we are onto the fat side. So I may as well just get into it unless anyone has part 4 it really is the Empire Strikes Back of the series. Okay. 7 Mac OS boards. What are you doing, Adam McGee? I can't stand working on through-hole stuff. I really can't, and it's just me. I hate through-hole soldering. For me, I'm all about the surface mount stuff. That's just me. Right, so shall we just get into this? We'll start doing it. We can tell jaunty sea tales and shanties and stuff like that. And I can, kindly ask everyone to
smash that like button.
And then we'll just continue. So, microscope. How much? Yes, it was from Bunnings for the blowery thing, and it was just the skin, and it was, I think, $109, something like that. Already have all the batteries because I'm AEG all over the place. They're made by Atlas Copco, I think, the same company that make Milwaukee and Atlas Copco. And you can buy them, that brand, at Bunnings, and I've been very happy with the quality, so I'm absolutely and totally invested in that ecosystem, the AEG ecosystem. Right, so when I am building these, I have to start with an old board. This is an old battery damaged board that I got from somewhere. And I have to take these components off and put them onto here. Like that. And I have to do it one at a time, and it's very boring, and I'm going to start now, and I'm going to talk while I'm doing it. And yeah, and we'll tell tales. How about that? Sinister Pisces, hello. Excited to actually see this being built live. Well, there you go. I'm really hoping that I might be able to get this working in time, but as I mentioned right at the beginning of the stream, I do have a limited amount of time that I can spend here today, and I'm worried I can't. I really can't go over time too much because I've just got this huge list of things to do. Whoopsie. So what was that? C15. Here we go. There we go. You probably didn't see that. Why is this out? Is it out for everyone else? When other people watching it, is there a time delay on this microscope camera? I know it's out of focus. But let me do a test here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go tap, 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 tap. It's like 3 seconds behind or something. I assume this is revision B. It is indeed revision B. This one is I've got to hope I'm using the revision B board. If I'm not, I'll feel like a right idiot. It is revision 1.2B. What we were on before was 1.1A. So, yep, there's a delay. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to disconnect this camera and reconnect it. So it is now disconnected. I need to get a piece of paper to white balance. And we'll reconnect it. Bing. All right. Now, let's see if we're still in delay. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, no, that's more like it. Thank you, world. There we go. It's worth it to get it right, isn't it? Isn't it? Worth a few seconds of inconvenience there. So now I can focus this much easier. Right, let's continue removing caps and putting caps on. We're now moving to C16. And I need to put this somewhere where I can actually reach it. That'll work better. Yeah. How about if I put that? Okay, there we go. There. Put that there. There we go. So the truth is I don't actually need another classic board. But having said that, when you have a whole bunch of battery bomb boards, being able to turn them into one working board does make a certain amount of sense. I will probably, I don't know what I'll do with this one. If I can get this working and, you know, I can spare the parts, I guess I might look at selling it as an assembled board. But I've just got this fear that I might, when I go to do this, be missing a few bits and pieces. Because I have raided some of these boards for other things. Other things. R39. Oh. Actually, let's start with R41. When I was doing this yesterday, I was watching someone else stream, I think. Who was I watching? Was I watching Jay? Or was I watching Steve? I don't know. I was watching someone else. And it's very quick to do. It's a lot quicker to do when you're not actually having to prattle the whole time. But I do prefer the company when I'm doing this on a live stream from my peeps. Has everyone here been to Tinker Different? Very important. I'm just putting these 3 down, and then I will look up and read the chat. Right at this moment, I am concentrating. My mind is elsewhere, and I'm not seeing what's going on in the chat. Noise. So, having never soldered anything before, is doing the resistors actually worse than doing other components, or does it just look that way? I actually find doing these quite easy. Probably the hardest part of doing these is some of these components are a little bit old and crusty because they've come off a battery bombed board. But one of the great things about surface mount soldering, and this is the way that I do this stuff, is the components generally just want to go into the spot. You use plenty of solder, plenty of flux. Careful how you say that. And then you you have solder on there and everything, and then you just apply heat without too much air, and the surface tension of the solder just pulls the component right in line. You don't need to be super precise with it. You just have to make sure you don't lose it. Now, I do have some spare components here because I'm half thinking about replacing some of these with better ones. But I went through this whole situation before where I lost my spare components, and then I found my spare components, and then I put them somewhere so that I wouldn't lose them. And guess what always happens after that scenario? I think I might have even taken them up to the house. I think I took them up there because I was thinking about buying a similar one. I wanted to make sure I didn't have overlaps of parts. So anyhow, we'll be fine. Signed up for Tinker Different last night. That is good to hear. FTHE swim and ROMs from the battery bombed board are working after vinegar bath and alcohol bath. That is excellent. Yeah. I mean, one of the problems that ended up happening. What's going on there? One of the things that ended up happening with the with this Mac Classic build was that there was a lot of stuff that ended up happening that wasn't part of a live stream. There were things that were happening in the background, and there were things that were happening at weird times of the day and night because Kai is in the UK and I'm in Australia, and there is a very big difference in time there. So I basically had to, when I put that fourth part together, I thought this gives me an opportunity to go in and show some of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. So that was really why I did that last one as a summary video rather than a live stream. So this is what I do when I'm working with surface mount components. I've got empty pads here, can't be having that. I want to get some solder onto them, so I'm going to just put little blobs of solder on these. Just waiting for my iron to heat up. There we go. So just like that, this little blob, probably a bit more than I need there, it doesn't matter. Yeah, blub, 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 blub. I can smell it, which means my fume extractor is not on. So I'm going to have to put it on. Oopsie. I really am using too much solder here, but that's because I don't have enough flux. So the solder's not behaving. I had a lot more on the back here than I thought I did. I thought I only had like about half a dozen left, but I was wrong. Doesn't matter, we'll get these done in no time. Okay, let's continue, shall we? So, I always like to get a little bit of flux on there. It just helps. It helps in this process of putting these components on. Just get some there. That's going to melt all over the place, so that's fine. Then we've got to take the component off the other board. We are. I'll put this here. Grab a bit of C41. I've got my hot air station running on a much lower output of air than usual. I normally have it set on about 110. Don't ask me what that number means, but that's what the machine says. Today I'm on 55, so you know I'm half the amount of air. That's because I don't want to lose this stuff. But too much air, it's going to fly away. Quick shout out to Mike from Mike's Mac Shack. I think he also did a live stream today, this morning, or earlier in my day anyway. I didn't get a chance to see it, unfortunately, because I was doing other stuff. I had a commitment, but yes, I do believe he streamed, and I'm sure that was lots of fun, and I'm sure it had lots of cussing. You can see a lot of these, or some of these components have actually got some writing on them. Those codes you can kind of look up to find out what the you know, sort of what the component actually is. These are all capacitors, but like that A4 there, you can look up and find out what that means. Don't ask me, I don't know off the top of my head, but it is a code that you can use. It is also size of paper, isn't it? Old A4 for people who are not from the US paper area. A4 is the standard letter size that we use here in Australia. It is 210 millimeters wide by 297 millimeters high. How about that? Anyone who might be thinking, my goodness, that's a weird paper size. Why would you make something 210 by 297? Well, I actually know the answer to that. Does anyone want to know, or is that just going to bore people's brains out? Oh. Solder solder. Yeah. Yeah, afternoon to Jay, different J, different single letter J. Yeah, it is ridiculously cool here at the moment in Sydney. I mean, this time of year, we can easily be, you know, like in the mid to high 30s. And today it's 21 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit, because I simply do not know. But it's just really, really cool at the moment. It's great from a money savings point of view, because I'm not having to spend money on electricity for air conditioning. 14 in Melbourne. Crikey, that's ridiculous. You have to. I'll be wearing thermal underwear with that weather. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Who did that? -2 in Ohio. Friggin'. That's not good. Jay likes the cold though, and in particular he likes snow. Jay, the House of Moth. Oh, I know who did the song. I wanted to know who made me start singing it. I saw it in the chat somewhere. Orinoco Flow. Enya is music for people who don't listen to music. Thanks, Horst. Thanks for owning up, most importantly. This is perhaps not some of my neatest soldering, but that's okay. It will work. Are there any changes on this board, of the board, not related to debugging? I think there was a change. There was a spot where a trace was a little bit too close to something else, and so Kai routed it onto the other side of the board to get it out of the way, and then routed it back down again, or routed, depending on where you're from. And what else? I think there were a couple of holes that ended up getting made a little bit bigger. Now, I'll just make mention of this. I'm putting down R7 here, which you probably can't see because the microscope's not showing it. Putting down R7 here. And in a moment I'll also put down R8. But I won't be doing R6 and R9, and that's because they're actually empty on the board. Go figure. We're nearly done, folks. This side, anyway. Oh, I dropped it. Spasmodical. There it is. Flip over, you thing. Well, you just want to be on that side, don't you? There we go. Oh crap, where was he from? He's from R12. I think these are all 220s, so it doesn't matter where they go. There we go. Let's just a little fluxaroonie and tidy these up a smidge. Forgotten how to talk today. Just too much of it, isn't it? See? Talk too much and you forget how to do it. Right. Alright, let's just check and make sure that I haven't missed any bird seed. I think I got it all. Should take a photograph, shouldn't I? I think what happens sometimes with these boards is, you know, sort of they design things in a particular way, and when they actually go and put them together, they find out there's no need for some of those components, and they just get removed from the final design. It still happens today. I mean, if you go and grab a board out of a MacBook Pro from, I don't know, 2012 or something like that, you find heaps of spots where there are no components. I just got a super chat from House of Moth. Bailey's refills for everyone. Gotta like Bailey's. Anyone else here like Bailey's? I love Bailey's. I like Bailey's with just a little bit of milk to make it last longer, and ice over ice. Nom, 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 nom. Ron just went live. Can you believe that? Can you believe the hide? Going live in the middle of my live stream. Who does he think he is? Okay, now we've got to start doing some of the bigger stuff here. I have already rated a few parts from this, so we're going to have a bit of fun finding them all. I've got a few spares over here. Let's see what I've got floating around that I might be able to use that I took off the other board and I was mucking around with them, thought they might be broken. So let's grab all these components. Grabbing. Some of these are probably not even off this computer, but grab them anyway. All right. Action Retro. Hello, Sean. How are you today? Okay, do you reckon this is the same one? 90528. Nope. So this is a 343 SO107. 344 SO107. Not the same. It's all right, I've got one of those. What about this one? This here looks like a 68000. So there's a CPU. Well, it saves me from taking that one off, so that's fine. We'll use that. What's this one? This one is a 343 SO1290. Is that a sound chip? 343 129. I do have quite a few missing bits here. 343 102 1033. Let's take what we have and we'll see what we have left and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. When I'm putting these on, these are the PLCC chip carriers. They're called carriers because they're carrying a little silicon inside them. Hard-working little silicon. Let's get some UV mask. Just got to clean this up a bit because it's a little bit dirty. There is one chip that I do think I'm going to struggle with, and I think that's the ADB chip because I think I rated the one off this for something else. But we'll just see. I do have a few boards, because I have a few working spare boards as well that I can just grab parts off temporarily just to test it. High-res photo of an intact classic board. I actually have one of those, thank you very much. I have that because there's this amazing website out there called Recap-A-Mac. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. And there are these high-res photos of a whole bunch of different logic boards on there. And I find it valuable. I don't know about you guys, but I just sort of think to myself, whoever spent the time to put a website like that together is really helping out the community. And, you know, we should thank that person. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Has anyone ever done a metal version of that song? What's the name of that guy that does those metal rehash videos, Jay, that you're always sending the links to? Does that awesome Sultans of Swing song thing with Mary, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember her name. Yeah, I know, that's a real earworm, that song. It just gets in there and stays there, and then it's, you know, it's bad for everyone involved. If anyone does want to blame anyone for getting Sail Away stuck in the head, it's Horst's fault. He's the one that started it. Right, now I'm sticking down a PLCC chip. And when I'm doing a PLCC chip, I will generally try and line up as best as I can from one corner. And then I'll do one little tack, a little tack type soldery do. It helps to have some solder on the end of your iron to transfer across. There we go, that's actually stuck on there now. But we're just stuck on one, so if I need to undo it, I can undo it. And then I come at the other angle to make sure that I'm all lined up here. Being gentle, because I don't want to tear off the pad on the other side. Okay, so tacked on there, tacked on here. And does it line up everywhere else? It looks like it does. So now we do some drag soldering, because that's what we like to do. Frog Leap Studio, that's the one. Thank you. And also, yes, Leo Maraccioli, is that right? Yep. That is some great stuff. Well, you know, you might hate it, but if you like it, you'll like it. Isn't that profound? If you like sort of a bit of metal, quite clever stuff done there. So this will be our first. This is not just the first chip going down, but arguably the most important. It is a soy pollo. It is the old 68K, Motorola 68K. So is the 68K still being used today? I'm just curious. Are there any devices that anyone knows of that are actually being manufactured in this day and age that are using a 68,000 CPU in them? I wonder if there might be some benefits to using them over some of the more modern ones. So people actually opt for that. Drag solder. Okay, oh god, this is getting sticky. The board's getting sticky. Alright, we're just going to have a look at this, make sure I haven't done any bridges, because as we know, that's all embarrassing when that happens. Don't see any bridges. Stinky bridges. Stinky, stinky bridges. Yep. There we go. Now I think I might try the great big fat VLSI chip. This is the BBU, Bob's Beautiful Unit. Gonna need to crank up the hot air now. Oh, hello, Steve. Steve is here. Hello. Oh, I got some green going on here. Have a go at it. Microwave had a CMOS 68K in it. How about that? Not notified? Good lord. I did put it into the group chat, Steve. Into the Maciac group chat. And that, as far as I'm concerned, if I have done that, I have done all I can for the Maciacers. Because I only did this with literally minutes worth of notice, I'm not surprised if certain notifications didn't go out. Ay, caramba. Is this chip ever coming off? Hey, the answer is yes. Ooga. This chip will be blazingly hot now, so I've got to be very careful. Even though there's some greenness on here, you can see we're all nice and tidy copper underneath there. It's all clean. Well, no, you can't see it because you're staring at the inside. There we go, nice and clean. Bondi. Nobody reads that chat anyway. Oh dear. Have I ever tried a PLCC nozzle for your hot air station? I have actually had trouble finding any of those sorts of nozzles for this station. If they're out there and someone has links to them, I would love to see them because I would love to have a PLCC nozzle for this hot air station. It would definitely make my life a lot easier. But have not found any as yet. It is a quick 861DW, in case anyone wants to do some hunting and searching and checking and finding. Just getting rid of the little nibs of solder on the end of this so that it'll sit flush on the board. I'm not actually trying to do any hardcore cleaning or anything like that. I have to just sort of keep in mind this is not a customer board. I have to say, one thing I really do like about this new board that wasn't on the old board, Kai has put the little dots for pin 1 of the PLCCs here. I like that. Makes life a lot easier. Pin 1 on PLCCs is always shown by a little indentation. I don't know if you can see it, it's right there, a little indentation there. And it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, etc. Goes in a clockwise direction. So now that they've got the dots there, it just makes it a little bit easier for me. And easier for me is easier for everyone. Once these start getting sold, I will be very interested to see how many people actually go in and build them. I mean, this isn't something you just do in 5 minutes. It's a big old job. So I'd be curious. Interestingly enough, when doing this for the first time, and it didn't work, there were 2 main things causing problems. One of those things was the fact that I didn't have one of the RAM chips soldered on properly. And it was making contact sometimes and not making contact other times. And that was creating some of this really intermittent stuff. Sometimes it would make beepy noises, sometimes it wouldn't make beepy noises. And that had to do with that one little RAM chip making contact or not. So that was one of the big things. Then the other really important one was related to the ROM. This pin, which pin was it? It was, I think, one of these pins here, one of them, wasn't connected to ground and needed to be. We would have had all sorts of other problems as well, for sure, because there were lots of other things that weren't done. But those were the 2 really key things that stopped the thing from working at all. We would have got stuff happening on the screen if there had been a connection made up here. There was a pin that wasn't properly wired up here. I can't remember if it was that one or that one, but there was a pin there that wasn't wired up. Had that one been wired up right from the word go, we would have had all the same problems, but we would have at least had something on screen, probably just like checkerboards or vertical lines or something like that. But we didn't get anything. We just had a completely black screen when we were doing it. So that's an interesting one as well. So just mentioning these sorts of things with the old one that we did. We hopefully will just get a chime first up with this. How good would that be? So I should also mention that doing this for Kai, and I'm not just doing it for nothing. He has been unbelievably generous with me in terms of like giving me these free boards, giving me free components. He's got a lot of these things, and he's done them obviously from his perspective is, you know, wanting to see these things get built, you know, seeing his creations come to life and all that sort of stuff. But from my perspective, it's just an incredible show of generosity. And so I feel really bad that I haven't built this sooner. But, I mean, truth be told, I shouldn't even be really building it now with my spare time. I should be repairing all the boards that I have here. 878850852 BGA SMD hot air series. Okay, I will have to look for that. A01125 hot air tip. Okay. We had the strange drum machine impression going. That is correct, and that was due to the ROM. That was due to that little ROM not being wired up. Got to have a look at this. Always need to check to make sure we don't have any little bridges, stinky bridges. Every now and again when I'm doing these things, I mean, I had one time where I was working on something and I check in the comments of the video later on and someone says, oh, you had a pin on that, a bridge on that chip. And then I go back and watch the video and go, oh, you're right, I did. Right, let's have a look at the other spares that I have and see if I've got anything that might be a little bit tidier than this. This is, oh, look at all these RAM chips. Well, this one's good. There are a few, I've got a few extra on this one. Oh, God, what, SCSI. 2 of them that don't have the SCSI chip on them. What's all that about, y'all? Y'all. So we've got a swim chip, if anyone wants to take a dip. Okay. Thank you. Go to check it out. Looks advanced for not crazy money. All right, consider it sold. This is crazy. I've got to copy this stuff. I can't. Can't copy it. Copy. Actually, I always need to keep in mind that this software that I use for live streaming, which is called Ecamm Live, it saves a transcript of the live stream. Something weird went on then. Hang on. Let's make sure that everything... Oh, goodness. Got a new picture in our Maciac notes. Okay. Let's go in and refresh this and see if I can't make this look better. Refresh. There we go. Oh, you texted me. Thank you. Wonderful. Much appreciated. All right. So I'm showing 40 concurrent viewers at the moment. So that's nice. Oh, he texted it to me. Thank you very much, Steve. That's very nice. Steve is very, very... Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're going to whip off the swim chip here. Oh, that's a bit melty. Oh, that's right. I melted that when I was doing my heat shield testing. So I won't be using that one anymore. There we go. Swim came off nice and easily. I am going to have to try and locate a SCSI chip. Anyone remember what the codes are on the classic SCSI chip? Because I'm sure I've got one floating around here somewhere. I just got to find out what the right codes are. Hot. Is it cool, blah? Have I said hello to you? If not, hello. Hello. Okay, let's plonk a swim chip down. That's really hot. Don't want to burn my fingers. There are lots of components on this, aren't there? Ouch. I had that that The Force Awakens film on the television last night, and I watched a little bit of it before watching something else, and was reminded as I watched The Force Awakens that it was much better than the prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3, but still ultimately flawed. I enjoyed that a lot of the effects were practical. In other words, there were nice big models. It wasn't just a great big CGI fest the whole way through. And there were big suits and things like that, you know, for the creatures and stuff. I appreciated that. But still not perfect. I would still rather... Well, oh, geez, I'm having a shocker here. I'm not tacking the thing down. I need more solder. Oh, damn. Damn. It's a 5380. That's the SCSI. Yeah, okay. 5380 sounds good. It sounds right too, actually. It rings bells in my melon. My head grapes. My head grapes are saying, yes, 5380 sounds right. Now, if you were building this yourself, would you put the big components on first or would you put the small components on first? I'm just winging it. I've given absolutely no thought to whether one way would be better than the other. Lowest to highest. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I've got any bridges? Yep, got a bridge. Right here. No more. Oh, look at that. Another bridge. What a shocker now. That one's fine. And that one's fine. All right. Let's see if I've got a 5380 floating around here, shall I? I've got a whole bunch of chips here of the right size for a 5380, but I just can't tell you if they are at 5380. Small components and build up. Yeah, that all makes sense. No. 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 These all seem like sound chips. No. No. Come on. Another one over here. What's that one? Oh, this looks a little bit 5380. Look at that. Now, do you think this chip works? Do you reckon I took it off because it was broken? Or do you reckon I took it off for another reason? Ah, well, you know what? I'm just going to put it on. And what's the worst that's going to happen? SCSI doesn't work.
I don't suppose any of you would mind going and gently tapping the like button, would you?
Has anyone noticed that we've got the new thing now with YouTube that you don't get to see the dislikes? You don't get a count. There's a concern that being able to see that you have dislikes can be embarrassing. Well, it's the world we live in. I feel as if I am really not in the right place here. Scarlet Swordfish, hello. Thank you for joining. How goes the build? It goes slowly. Forgetting to toggle the monetization button. Yeah, it's one of the actually frustrating things with the software that I use here for live streaming. When I set up a live stream, it defaults to having monetization off. So you have to go in there and remember to switch it on. Otherwise, no monetization. No way. Yeah, Scarlet Swordfish, the build is going well. I've already done the birdseed side. I've done the one with all the little components on the other side. And now I'm doing the big component side. I did start the other one yesterday. So it's moving a little bit quicker than the last stream. I don't know if I'll get a chance to test this today. I sure hope I do. I've got a limited time. I've got about an hour left that I can spend on this. And I don't know if I will get this done in an hour. It's possible. If I pull my finger out and do it properly. Come on, you silly bridge. Unbridge. Unbridge. I think, is it unbridge? Unbridge. Nope. More flux. Flux. Unbridge. I can't tell. I'm going to have to look at it from the side. Rich YouTube fucking your monetization, yeah. Rolling in that internet money, yeah. Yeah, it's still bridged. While I accept that there are ways you can make decent money from YouTube, I'm not there yet. It's better than nothing. It's, you know, I mean, there is a financial return, even for someone with as few subscribers as I have. There is money that trickles in, but yeah, it's not time to retire just yet. You had a dropout. Oh dear. I cannot be blamed for that. Cannot, will not. Okay, this one has both these components, but they look like crap. ADB. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble with the ADB chip because I think I've used all of them. Looks like the Classic 2 has got a different architecture, so I'm probably not going to be able to use that either. Spasmodical. Did a lovely, generous friend Kai give me any? Because he did give me a bunch of components. Gave me some crystals. As in oscillators, not as in, like, you know, hippie stuff. What's in the bag? Oh crap, what's falling out of the bag? I've got to go pick those up now. What a pain. Love it. What do we got? Oh, a few things. I'll check those out. That was the RAM. That was, yeah. This is some of this awesome stuff that I got from Kai. Oh, look at that. A couple of interesting chips in there. I'm going to see what they are. Have a look-see. Are they all the same? (344) S0061, 344 S0063, 344 S0061, 344 S0063. So we've got two 63s and a 61. Anyone tell me what the ADB chip code is? Joey Bolanos, hello. I don't think I said hello to you. Oz Newton, I don't think I said hello to you either. Yeah, okay, so I have got some extra chips here from Kai. This might be it. Oh, I think that might be it. I think he did send me some. That's a nice thing. So, because these ones are totally wrong size. So that one was 618. Okay, so he sent me swim chips. That's cool. I really do need. This is the point where I need to bring up a photograph of a classic. Oh look, the number of viewers is dipping. I'm getting boring. Or was it when I started singing Enya? That could have been it. Recap a Mac. Ping. And oh wow, why am I in that view? View, actual size. There we go. That's better. Re-shorty. Macintosh Classic. And let's zoom in on this photo and see what we can see. So, ADB chip is absolutely impossible to see. Sorry, my friends. It's taking some time. Let's go here to the Finder. Let's go here to the desktop. Let's go here to the Mac Classic. And that's Classic. And then let's zoom in so we can see the codes on them. So that's 61A. That's okay. That's good. That's going to be interesting with that one. And so this one, yeah, this is okay. So the ADB chip is the 0440B, and I'm sure that I've got one here. 0440B, yes, okay. A huge thank you again to Kai for bailing me out with that, so that we now have an ADB chip. So just here's a really interesting thing. Now, this is something that I will be actually selling on my store soon, and this is for people with Macintosh SEs as well. The SE has an ADB chip on it, but it is a DIP chip. And you can't get those anymore, but you can still buy these little PLCC ADB chips. So Kai made this absolutely awesome little adapter that allows you to adapt the PLCC to go into the through-hole sockets of a Mac SE. I've already used one to repair a customer's computer. So how about that? Let's get this little guy in place. Got all these RAM chips to do as well. And anyone who's watched the video could see the unpleasantness that happened with the RAM chips before. So different when you're using a brand new chip compared to grabbing a chip off the board. They just feel so different. Why are you beeping? Did I beep? When I don't use my soldering iron for some time, it goes to sleep. I use a Hacko soldering iron or soldering station, and it has a little detector, a little switch, so that when the iron is in the holder, it presses a little switch, and if it is in the holder for more than a certain amount of time, 5 minutes or something, it powers down. It's very handy in case you forget to leave it on. Forget to turn it off. And so when I'm sitting here chatting away and I'm not soldering and it switches off, then I grab it to go use it and it goes beep when it gets back up to temperature. Great. Let's look for the bridges over Madison County. Wonky, but not bridged. Right, that's good. So we've got ADB in place now. Now I've got these two things here. We've got the SCC chip and the VIA. Now, I have them, but they're just really grubby on this thing because of battery damage. So this one is a... Crikeys. What is he? 338S6523. I think it's a little bit much to ask to expect to have got those from Kai. Okay. Were any of these ones that I grabbed before? Were they that? Were they that? That's another sound chip. That's a sound chip. Let's just get all these. Oh, look! I found another SCSI chip. There was one there. Bit dirty though. Easy. I can definitely use it though. There's a 53C80. I'll keep that. I'll put that in my. I'll lose it over there bin. That's another sound chip. That's another sound chip. And that's another sound chip. Well, no shortage of sound chips over here. Actually, I grabbed some chips and put them over here last time too, didn't I? So there might be some in here. What do we got? What do we got here? Oh, great, there's nothing written on them. So they're probably sound chips for the Classic. We can only hope. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. What are we going to do here? I mean, is this even salvageable? This chip is in such terrible condition. Look at it. Look it. Going to give it a bit of a scrub and see what it looks like after scrubbing. If there's even any point in attempting to use it. Sorry if the view's not good. It's not too good for me either. I think I can use this. Do you concur? Well, let's whip him off and see what happens. I believe. Soon you do more with less. You're very true. That is a very true thing for you to say there. It is correct, Monday. Oh, it smells. Probably going to need to let this cool a little bit because I'm still going to clean it up a little. Don't know if anyone remembers, but the last time when I was building this, I had Kai on board while I was building it. And what was handy about that, he was telling me exactly what I needed to put on. You know, exactly what I could just get away with just in order to test it. And he's like, yeah, no, you don't need that. Don't need that. Just put this on. Put that on. Out. Just hitting this with a bit of sandpaper. Ow. Ow, it's still hot. I'm going to douse it in some alcohol. How about that? Yep. That's true. We're all good. Nothing's fallen off. I've managed to clean it back to copper. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Let's just do this at the top there. If I can. If I can. There we go. That'll do. It will do. It will do. And just have to hope that if I sell this board, I sell it to someone who hasn't seen this video. I jest. I would never deliberately mislead anyone in building these things. I think I might struggle with the real-time clock chip. Don't think I have a spare one of those. Oh, there's one on here. It looks like crap, but it's on there. Just occurred to me. God, this is boring. Sorry, everyone. Right, just keeping an eye on the chat here because I am getting a little bit caught up in what I'm doing here. I'm going like, wow, look, I'm building something. Like John Hammond in Jurassic Park, except that the Classic won't come back and eat me. Great. We've got a swimmy swim chip. Now we've got an SCC. Jeremy, where does the Macintosh Classic fit in with that? I'm curious about what part of your Classic Mac Pro it replaced. I'm still using a Classic Mac Pro as my daily driver. I have a few other computers floating around the house. I've got a laptop and I've got an iMac as well. A couple of iMacs. And of course I'm using a Mini in here. Should I just whip off all these RAM chips while I'm here? It would be nice if there were more Apple computers that had a bootable ROM like the Mac Classic. So convenient. Ow hot, ow hot, ow hot. Okay, let's see if we can get this sorted. Just cleaning this one up again as well because this one was a little bit messed up. This is the SCC. This is the last of the big PLCs. I've got a couple of little ones here, but we then start moving on to, oh, that was an awful sound. Then we start moving on to different chip types. Rominator with bootable ROM in SC30 or Mac 2. Yes, there's those, but wouldn't it be good if they were just like that out of the factory? Like lots of computers were like that out of the factory. You know, I just imagine how much of a, you know, how convenient it would be if, you know, you could just boot a computer, in particular the vintage computers, if you could just boot them into a ROM that had SCSI probe installed and maybe a bit of Norton utilities. I realise I'm just talking nonsense here, but wouldn't it be handy? The one that's here. Here we go. Here we go. SCC. Oh, this one looks weird. Anyhow, okay, never mind. It's alright. Just thinking to myself. I have to admit, I am really looking forward to having a wine tonight. I was trying to get, the guys at the Maciac were trying to talk me into actually doing this live stream with wine. And I said, look, the only problem with that, it's a little early in the day. I'm not sure I should really be doing that at that time. But the more I sit here and think about it, I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, I'm ready for some wine. I had a very, very light drinking night last night. Had a couple of glasses of wine with dinner. Not much else. Had a lovely dinner with family, which was nice. Very yummy meal cooked by my mother. And yeah, and then a few wines, nothing major. Watched a little bit of TV until I fell asleep when I got home, or nearly fell asleep. And now I'm sort of thinking to myself, you know what? I want to really celebrate tonight. I want to celebrate my new little AEG blower. Anyone who missed that at the beginning of the live stream, it's this guy here, which I'm going to just show everyone if I can find my freaking mouse. I've lost my mouse. Is it fallen off the table? That's always possible. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. Ah, dear, losing my brain. So, yes. So I got this thing. And it's a little blower. And I'm going to be using this for trying to keep my office clean and tidy. Oops, I think that was probably needed. Never mind. Yeah, so that's what I'll be celebrating. I'll be celebrating that, because why not? Right, now we are on the hunt for a real-time clock chip. Careful how you say that. Real time, not a good time, but a real-time clock chip. Chocolate chip. Now, here's the one that I have on this computer. And it is missing pins. Shazbut. Right, well, we won't be using that one because I cannot be bothered doing pins. So, what do we know about real-time clock chips? Oh, here's another one. I think the pins are intact on this one, maybe. Let's whip him off. We'll put him on some sandpaper and we'll see what's left. Microscope view, microscope view. Yeah, juicy, isn't it? Oh, those friggin' diodes as well. I forgot about them. I think I have replacements for them. Oh, Joe's here. Hello, Joe. Goodness me. I didn't say hello to you. I feel rude now. I feel rude and it's unacceptable. Hello, Joe. Thank you for joining. Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. If you don't know who he is, I don't know where you've been. He's terribly famous. Now, I'm not going to go out and say that he's famous because he's been on MacYak, but I'm not going to say he's not famous because he's been on MacYak. Oh, I'm getting copper, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. That's an awful noise. Oh, goodness. Right. Can we use this? Smash. I smashed the like button just for that comment. Thank you, sir. If anyone's wondering what that weird noise is outside, it is a bird, it's an Australian raven. That's the sound they make. It sounds like a small child. And at the moment, he's not being made particularly welcome by everyone around because they eat little baby birds. And so all the other birds that are worried that they're going to have their babies eaten are trying to chase the raven away. Yes, Australian ravens are incredibly smart. They figured out how to open my chicken coop and steal eggs from there once. Had to start locking it down because they were able to undo the latch and lift the top over. They're just stupid smart. And there's a good old Australian saying. Stupid smart. Oh yeah, he's stupid smart. It's a lot of work to make this chip usable, isn't it? Right, let's douse this in flux and see that I can get solder to stick to it, and that I will be able to make solder stick on the board. Joe's Computer Museum. That's a question that even gets your name in lights. So the answer to that is no, unfortunately not. It's I think they're still available or they're not. I can't remember. Again, I'd need Kai here. I think you can possibly get these somewhere, but no, they're not a generic RTC chip because they actually hold the PRAM. So these are the chips that hold the stuff about your the clock, the actual time. They hold the you know what? I just realised Kai might have sent me one of these. Yeah, so they hold the time. They hold the like what's it called, the mouse speed, all of the stuff that gets saved when you switch your computer off. So they're not just a clock; they are also holding a small amount of data. It's like a couple of kilobytes or something or less. I don't know. It's not much. It doesn't hold much, but it does hold stuff. And so that means that they are more than just a clock. But I don't think I got one. No, he didn't send me one. Because I did have this discussion with Kai. I was like, what can you still get and what can't you get? And I just have it in my head that the real-time clock was one that was quite hard to source. But I could be wrong. I could be thinking of something else. Oh, I forgot about the PAL chip. Have I got a good PAL chip? That doesn't have a PAL chip on it. That does. Thank you. Thank you. Right, let's get the real-time clock on here. Get someone to go in and create a like a Raspberry Pi that emulates a real-time clock. So you like a real-time clock chip. So you have like a Raspberry Pi hanging off the top being the real-time clock chip or something stupid like that. Yeah, I mean, some of these chips are still gettable. And, you know, there are obviously loads of these boards floating around because once there's a demand for this stuff, sometimes these chips just start appearing. And I know what you're thinking. They're appearing because they are copies. But there are actually some genuine ones. So, for example, and I've had this before, I've bought them. I've bought genuine Apple sound chips for the Macintosh Classic. And they're the real article. I can absolutely guarantee that they're the real article. I have them, I've used them, they work. And they are used. Which means that someone's grabbed them off some boards at some stage. And then they've started selling them because there's a demand. These companies, they will respond to the demand that's there. And they'll also respond with price, might I add. When they start to get more popular, they hike the price up. I've had that happen before, where I've actually ordered some chips, got them for a certain price, and the next time I went to go order them, the price had mysteriously gone up. Okay, let's see if this is good enough. Nope. 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 Good. So assuming, of course, that real-time clock does still work, we're looking good. Oh, okay, let's put the PAL chip on. Come on, PAL. Remember tweezers. How would you tell if it isn't working? If we're talking about the real-time clock chip, there are two ways you can usually tell. If the time's not right, that's usually a good way of telling. That's one way. If it's not storing, so one of the ways, like I had this happen before with a real-time clock chip that wasn't working, and it was, you could set the time and it would show the correct time, but then when you go away and you'd come back to it, the time had changed. It wasn't storing it properly. So. I had one that was really weird on a Macintosh SE. I ended up replacing the real-time clock to fix it. I've got lots. Actually, they're the same chip, aren't they? So if you had an adapter, I've got lots of real-time clock chips for the SE. I bought a ton of them. And they're apparently identical except for the pinout. You know, as in, like they're just in locations. So you could theoretically, using some sort of adapter that you put the dip chip into a little holder that then had the pins for the PLCC chip, you could theoretically use a real-time clock chip from either a Mac Plus or a Mac SE. And I've got stacks of those. But I don't have an adapter that I just described that would be really good if someone named Kai built one. Ow! Hurt my hand. Now, I just want to set expectations for anyone here who's not a vintage computer fan. Once this computer has been built, it will not really be able to get on the internet. I will not be able to look at Facebook with it. What was it called now? Meta. I won't be able to get onto Meta. Yeah, it's probably for the best. Lies, you need a RAR SCSI. Well, there is some truth in what Steve is saying. If you get a RAR SCSI, it will emulate a, I don't have a bloody sound chip. It will emulate a, one of those SCSI to Ethernet adapters that you used to be able to buy. And yeah, so you do have that option, no sound chip. Now, what uses the same sound chip as this? 2SI, Macintosh Portable. I've got a few spare SIs, so I might be able to grab a sound chip off that. Just bear with me. Oh, what do we got here? Why is a good board in my donor board pile? It's not allowed. Can't be having that. I have lots of Classic 2, dead Classic 2 logic boards. Lots of them. So I sort of feel like if someone goes and makes a Classic 2 reloaded, hint, 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 I will, I'll be set for parts. And what that be known as. Okay, I've got a 2SI board and it's got sound chips on it. This board looks almost like it's okay, but it clearly isn't because it's got a few missing bits. So I must have raided this before. Okay, so let's grab a sound chip. This is the weirdest PLCC chip you're likely to see because it's shaped like a rectangle rather than a square. Sound. This is clearly something I tried to fix at some stage with all this UV mask floating around. Yeah, I haven't bought a RAR SCSI. I need to get one. And the main reason why I need to get one is because I've done videos on benchmarks. And I really need to do the same thing comparing a SCSI to SD to a blue SCSI to a RAR SCSI. And there's another one too, was it Mac SCSI or something? I can't remember it. I can't remember. I can tell people that there is a new type of blue SCSI that will be available to buy very soon. I will have it available very soon once I get the Gerbers and get a few of them made. But for anyone out there who is interested, I will very soon be selling external blue SCSIs, ones that connect to the DB25 external port. Yeah, space is always an issue when it comes to vintage computer collecting. Like for example, when someone says, "Hey man, I've just found a really inexpensive Quadra 950," and you go, "Oh, I want to grab that, and then you get it home and you think, "Where am I going to put this freaking thing?" It's one of the reasons why I've literally just banned the purchasing of CRTs. I said to myself, I will allow myself to get the original Macintosh 13-inch high-resolution monitor, whatever they called it. I'll get one of those. I'll get the little one that came with the LC, with a little curved foot on the bottom. And that's it. I think I might have the little 12-inch one as well. But it's like, no more CRTs. No more CRTs. No sir. Holy crap, it's 3:13 already. 3:30 I said I had to finish. This is going to run into another live stream, isn't it? How disappointing for folks. Because, I mean, look, I've still got so much to stick on this thing. Oh, sorry everyone. I feel like I let you down. I'm still missing a chip here. Oh, here we go. Got one here. How are we doing in viewers? 37. Still hovering with a few viewers hanging around. Thank you to everyone who is still watching. And I am sorry that it looks like I'm not going to get this finished in time. That's but I haven't even put any of the RAM on. That's like 8 chips that need to go on. I haven't put any. I've only been doing the PLCCs at this point. I haven't done any of the flat chips yet, or any of the diodes, or any of the transistors, or anything like that. Voltage regulators. None of that been done yet. Just reading a bit of House of Moth funness there. In all fairness, I do have a few more subscribers than Jay, but that is only because he is has only really quite recently decided to start growing the channel. He's been quite content with the way things were before, and now he's saying, you know what, let's get this channel going. So anyone who has not subscribed to the House of Moth, be a good time to do so. He has just cracked the 1,000 mark. The 1,000 mark. Let us not forget what a big moment that is. And he's even going to have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And he's even giving his viewers the chance to decide what his next live stream will be. There's a little web page, isn't there, Jay, where you can jump on there and have a look what is proposed, and then we can make a decision as to what we end up watching. I know what I voted for, but I'll let other people make up their mind on that one. I think I voted for something relating to water damage, I think. I only have 50. Not quite. I'm about to hit 21,000. I think if it was 29 something, 20,900 and something just recently. Like when I checked earlier today. So I'll probably hit 21,000 either tonight or tomorrow. At this point now, the next big kind of thing is 50,000. I'm a long way away from that. I'm having a lot of trouble actually managing the time to do everything that I want to do for the channel. I've got this huge list of pre-recorded videos I want to do, like scripted ones. And I've been doing work on them and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just not getting enough done. And that's mainly happening because I've got a lot of repairs, so I'm having to spend time doing repairs and recapping. And then B, oh gosh, that's a bridge. I've got my just normal day job is busy, so whereas in the past I've kind of just taken a day off to do a bit of YouTube stuff, but I haven't really been afforded that opportunity lately. Did I get rid of it? Where's the... Wah. There it is. And then of course the other thing is that if you don't release content with YouTube on a fairly regular basis, all of a sudden YouTube forgets you and you stop turning up in searches and stuff like that, and that becomes a real problem because that then impacts on your bottom line and impacts on your subscriber numbers and all that sort of stuff. So I have to do these live streams to make sure that I've got some content coming out, and it's a great way to stay in shape. That was a little line there from Family Guy for anyone who is a Family Guy watcher. I quote lots of Family Guy because I watch lots of Family Guy, and it's a great way to stay in shape. If you are someone who is, what's the word? If you are very concerned with political correctness, Family Guy is perhaps not for you. I do not believe they do anything too insulting, but having said that, I do not come from a racial minority, so, you know, I'm a middle-aged white fat man, so I'm not exactly a picture of diversity. But yeah, I do find that there are times where they definitely push the envelope with Family Guy, and if that's something that might offend you, then I would recommend staying away from it. And put it this way, it's not just like The Simpsons. The Simpsons is a kids show, essentially. I know it's for the whole family. I'm not trying to criticise anyone who likes The Simpsons. I like The Simpsons. I watch The Simpsons. I've got no issue with it at all. But when I watch it, it is family viewing. You know what I mean? You're talking about, you know, a show that you can watch, show to people of all ages. That is not Family Guy. Oh, and geez, Steve, you and your extra digits on things with that phone. What the hell's going on? Just think about if that was a bid on something. 840 up to 8,400. Or is that, sorry, you're talking about numbers, are you? I thought you were talking about 8,400 and 840, as in like talking about your quadra. But no, you're saying you're going to do a stream for the numbers, is that correct? Would I be correct in saying that? Having flashbacks. Flashbacks. $8,400 subscribers, yes. Fair enough, fair enough. God, I'm getting hot now. It was really quite cool before. Now I'm a little on the warm side. All right, so where are we? 321. Let's see if I can get all these RAM chips down, and then I'll finish it up. I've got a nice bridge going on there. I'm now really starting to regret putting all these chips into place before soldering them down. I feel a little bit stupid. But at least on the bright side, I am stupid. So everything works out well. There we go. Phew. Hey Charlie, how's it going? Okay, all right, just checking on the chat to make sure I'm not missing out on anything important. Even though everything that you guys say is important. Don't want to suggest otherwise. So what am I going to do about this? I didn't get it finished today. I haven't tested it. And I sort of feel like I've just robbed people of the experience then. So I need to find some way of making it so that I can test this. Let's just imagine I work on this a little later today. Do I start another live stream? A lot of people will be asleep by then. Or do I pre-record it and make it so that people can watch it at their leisure? I'm just thinking, I mean, it's terrible to have you guys sitting here watching me build this and then rob you of the reveal. It's just some kind of cruelty. It's a mess in between these. It really is a mess. God, that's a position terrible. Do-do-do. This is why I ended up missing one before. Getting in here is quite difficult. And I'm bridging the hell out of these. I'm going to have to fix that up. But I figure I'd do it for all of them. Jeremy, thank you for joining. Sorry you have to go, but I do understand there are time zone related issues around the world on this large flat plane that is Earth. I'm just joking, of course. We wouldn't have different time zones if it was flat, would we? One of the things that still just continues happening to me, happens all the time, is the number of people who watch my videos and tell me that I'm soldering wrong. And it's something I always find quite kind of baffling that someone does that. I may not solder in the same way that they do it, but to just come out and say, oh, you're doing it wrong, I just sort of find that like It's really weird. And of course, the first thing I do whenever anyone does that is I grab their username and I go and check and see what their soldering tutorial videos are like. And they're usually non-existent. That chip does have an eep on it. Yep. They've all got eeps on them, actually. Look at them. Yep, 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 yep. I just sounded like Mike from Mike's Mac Shack. I just sounded like his computer when the cat walks across the keyboard. Woo, woo. I put it on crooked. I'm doing this so naughty at the moment. Don't do what I do. There we go. It was this one, wasn't it? No, it was the third one. Yeah, it was this one. This is the one where I missed the pad last time. It's like right over here. I nearly did it again then. It's got it in for me. Oh, solder bridge on RAM. They're all over the place. I will go back and clean them all up afterwards, but... Yes, it was that actual chip that I worked on last time was the one that gave me grief. But I will not be making the same mistake again. No. Fool me once. And shame on you. Fool me. I'm trying to quote George W., that one that he said. That was so fun. Did anyone remember the "Fool Me Once" speech that George W. gave? Was it here? Was it George W. or was it? Yeah, I think it was George W. This one is terrible. Gonna need a bucket of flux on that. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again. Yes, that's right. I just got the feeling that as he started telling the story, he didn't want to actually say shame on me. So he chickened out and said that. Oh crap, it's just started raining. Cool, there's no washing on the line. You know what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to get so much grief from Mr. J. Vry. I'm going to grab a different soldering iron tip. that's the exact quote there. I love it. All right, let's see if we can fix all these bridges. What am I going to do? I'm wondering if I put the iron sideways like this. Yeah, that might work. Okay, so there's the bridge. Oh God, neat flux. This one, wow. This guy. Oh, thing you. Which one is it? This one? I can't remember. There we go. Yeah. We definitely need to put a. For those who aren't aware, we use a measurement scale of flux in Rossmann's, and I probably put about half a Rossmann on that last one. Oh, wow, look at all that. Oh, look, and there's even a missed pin, just like last time. Right there. The fact that it's happened to me twice now means I'm well within my rights to blame Kai for that. Because it shows that there's a fault in the board and it's not just me. Oh dear, good luck trying to make that one stick. Micro pencil would have made this a breeze, but instead you go for the conical. Do you think? I'm not sure I get enough heat out of that. I mean, these are whopping great big pins here, Jay. Whopping. Cool, got it. Got it. I'm going to stick about, that's about 3/4 of a Rossmann on there. That's too much. Got too much. I just got too much on there. So Jay, you're streaming after I finish, is that right? Did I read that correctly? Or the moment I finish my live stream, you're going to start yours? So you're probably just desperate for me to finish because you're so keen. See, it's still not soldered. is now. Oh, another one missing. Okay, that's that sign. Oh, do 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 do. So if anyone is wondering why these are so hard, why I'm ending up with this is because they're close together. My normal soldering technique doesn't really work. So, and thankfully I don't have to do it very often. I wonder whether I wouldn't have been better off with these to have just put solder on the pads and then used the heat gun to just melt them into position. That might have been a better tactic. Alright, let's just give it one last checkaroony. Nice. Oh, nice. 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 Oh, that's very nice. 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 Super nice. Nice. Kind of nice. Very nice. 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 Oh, that's all so nice. Right. Okay. Well, let's just have a quick little recap here. I'm going to jump across to the top view and we will look at the board as it stands now. You can see we've got pretty much all of the PLCC chips are on here now. We've got all the RAM chips in place. What we still have to do, we've got a few of these other, what are they, dips? Something like that, packages along here, where we're just going to put down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. Got the caps, got a couple of capacitors, oh, sorry, got the caps, got the normal, the ones that are usually surface mount electrolytic. I've got those caps, and then I've got some other little caps here. I've got a diode. What have I got there? That's a transistor. Then we've got all the pins and, you know, the plugs and whatnot. I've got to stick the ROM on. So there's still a little bit of work to go. There's still, I'd say, a good hour left before this is going to be finished. And I don't have that hour now, so I am unfortunately going to have to finish. And I do apologise to everyone who is maybe sitting here waiting for me to test it. It's just not going to happen today. It's just, it's not the day. It's not the day, guys. So that's pretty much where I am. I am now going to go and do other interesting things, like cleaning the house. Yay. Put the ROM socket in. Yeah? You want to put the ROM socket in? Would that fulfill you? Would that make your day better? I can probably do that. I can find a friggin' thing. I said friggin', I didn't swear. Did I put them away? I thought they were just resting here. They are resting here. Resty, resty, resty. Goes up that way. You like it? No, I didn't finish building it yet. It's going to take too long. It's going to take too long, so it's going to have to be done on another day. Sorry about that. The ROM socket is critical. Yeah, I mean, it is critical, but so's other stuff that I haven't done yet. But just because you asked, I will put the ROM socket on. Oh, I switched the iron off. So that's how sure I was going to stop. Audience is also critical. You see, I know what time zone you're in, Horse, but some people here probably want to go to bed. Boop, boop, boop. Ow. And if anyone is looking at this and thinking, hey, why haven't you got a socket the same size as this? Well, because the board actually has one more pin than is needed. So rather than putting a socket on that goes across to the pin that's not needed, I just grab a socket that's the size of the chip that's needed. Less chance of people actually putting the ROM sim in wrong. Hey, look, it's my name. Hey, hello. And hello, Steve. And hello, Kai, of course. There we go. Keeping everyone happy with a ROM socket. What are the extra pins for on the ROM socket? I have no idea. None. But I can tell you, if you put the ROM in the wrong way, you can kill it. So, yeah, very weird. So, yeah, I don't think we're quite ready to start it yet, but we're getting there. Assembled by JLCPZB. That's where the battery holder is going to go. Yeah, all right, okay, all right. I might get a chance to come back to it later today, we'll see. Yes, leaded solder does flow better at lower temperatures. I much prefer to use leaded solder. That's just what I prefer. I'm not trying to make everyone else do it. Almost there, Bruce. Keep going. No, I will get into world of trouble. I mean, you're right. We've probably got less than an hour to go to finish it off, but I have already run over time. So I would like to give everyone a quick shout out. I would like to say thank you to everyone who has joined me. And once again, I do apologise that I'm not getting this finished, but yeah, time is limited. That's just how it goes. I want to wake up and watch it. Yeah, well, you know, who knows? I may end, if I get all of the stuff that I need to get done up there, I may come down and start streaming the rest of it, but don't count on it. So, just saying. Yeah, okay, so to everyone here who has been watching, I thank you very much for keeping me company. I hope this has been at least a little bit entertaining. I need to do it. May as well have some company while I do it. Yeah, so whatever day, night, time it is in your part of the world, have a good whatever it is. And I will see you at the next stream. And I thank you very much once again. Thank you for the super chats. And of course, thank you for keeping that chat really interesting for me to keep me entertained while I'm going. I am going to press the end stream button. And I'll see you all later. Bye now.